Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Japa sadhana, chanting of Lord's name. We'll try to learn the science behind it and then the application of this science as jap technology so that we are benefited by this science. All spiritual practices, whether it is karma, or it is yoga, or it is bhakti devotion, or it is knowledge, all of them are directed to work on the mind. Because mind is the problem. In deep sleep, the mind is enfolded, all problems are over. Morning, again the mind surfaces and brings all the problems which were kept pending. Therefore, all the spiritual practice is working on the mind. Yesterday somebody asked a question about controlling the mind. When we say controlling the mind, what exactly it means? Is it like controlling a car? Is it like controlling the channels on the TV? Is it like controlling the wife? This is just an example, okay? The controlling wife is not a good example, but anyway I have given. So, what do we mean or understand by controlling the mind? Let us try to understand this. For that we must know what is the meaning of a disturbed mind. Then only we can control the mind. If the mind is not disturbed, what is the need of control? So, disturbed mind is the mind which is not available to us when we want. See, I speak here, let us say 75 minutes. Out of 75 minutes, you are not listening to for me all the 75 minutes. Mind goes here and there. And then suddenly you come to know, Arey, I am here. Okay, फिर क्या कहा? Everybody laugh. I also laugh. But I don't know, my mind was not here. So, let us understand what is the meaning of a disturbed mind. And then we will know what is the meaning of a controlled mind or controlling the mind. Our mind runs in three parameters. First, objects. Second, places. And third, time. Deshataha, kalataha, vastutaha. So we are all the time with the mind going away from the present. During our childhood, stop that. So when you stop controlling, allowing the mind to go in time, you have controlled the mind. Second, the mind goes on solving the non-existing problems. You know what happens? I saw one movie long time back when I was a child. This particular thing still I remember very vividly. There was one character and that character was acted by Mahmood. You know, there was one Hindi movie comedian. Mahmood was the actor. And he has this habit. Whenever he will go somewhere, he will start projecting the things. imagining the things. So one day he goes for a marriage. And he's sitting there all alone without anybody around him because he's all the time moving on. And he sees that the husband, that boy and the girl, with the cloth tied together, they are going around the fire. So when they are going around the fire, he imagines, suppose the fire catches the cloth enough, and then it starts. Then this fire will, break those two cloths because it is burning, and one side will burn the groom, the other will burn the bride, and the bride will start running among the ladies, and the groom will start running among the gents. Then the ladies will be caught in the fire, and the gents will be caught, and then the whole pandal will be caught, and there will be chaos. And he starts shouting, "Stop it! Call fire brigade!" Nothing has happened. So people say, "Pagal ho gaye kya? What happened?" Why, nothing has happened. Oh, thank God. So what he was doing? He was trying to solve the non-existing problems. This happens because the mind is uncontrolled, goes on thinking, imagining. And you know why? We develop this faculty right from childhood. Go on imagining. I think, he doesn't like me. I think, he likes me. Who is interested in you, first of all? But we go on imagining. So, controlling the mind means it should not run in the past or in the future. So, the mind runs in objects from one object to another object. The mind runs from one time to another time. And third, the mind runs from one place to another place. You see it here, oh, beautiful, but we don't stop here. When we went to, Florida, why you bring Florida over here? Why don't you remain here happily? See, constantly the mind is running from here to there, in place, in time, in object. Therefore, control of mind means the mind no more runs from object to object, from one time to another time, from one place to another place. This is the meaning of controlling the mind. Now, for that, there are some basic requirements. And the basic requirements are, let us know the mind in its complete expression. When the consciousness is not expressing as mind, it is called as paravani, the speech beyond words. The second step, the mind has started coming into existence, but the object and the thought of the object, they are not yet differentiated. Second stage. That is called as Pashyanti Vani. The third stage. That speech or the mind becomes still grosser, and there the object and the thought of the object, both of them are thoughts. Like what we go on thinking, if I go there, whether I'll get good accommodation or not, whether things will be there or not. So we go on talking the words and the object, they are also images. That is the third stage, where the object and the thought of the objects, both of them are only thoughts. That is called as Madhyama Vani. And the fourth one is the one with which I am talking to you, called as Vaikhari Vani. Now in this Vaikhari Vani, or the gross speech, what happens? A tissue paper word or the thought and the tissue paper, they are separate from each other. So understand these four grades. in the Vaikhari Vani with which I am talking to you. It is called as Parashruti Gochara, that which can be heard by others. So when I say tissue paper, so the word tissue paper and the tissue paper, they are separate. When I think about tissue paper, Arun कल जा रहे वो tissue paper ले आना जरा. So Arvind is thinking about tissue papers. So the tissue paper object and the thought, that is at the level of mind. That is called as Madhyama Vani. Now the third stage, where the object and the words are not separate. Pashyanti Vani. Again I am repeating it. And Paravani is the mind beyond relativity or the consciousness. Now, the whole world begins with the words. In the beginning was the Word was with the Lord, and the Lord was the Word. But what is that word? We don't know. That word is this Om. So, all the spiritual practice or japa sadhana is starting from the sound and going beyond the sound. Slow and steady migration from the Vaikhari Vani to Madhyama. Vaikhari Vani is at the level of our mouth. Madhyama Vani is in the throat. Pashyanti Vani is in the Nabhi, in the umbilicus. And Paravani is at the Mooladhara chakra, the base of the spine. So these are the four places where the mind is existing. Now, when we are living in this world, now I am talking to you by Vaikhari Vani and the waking state. Then the second stage is the Madhyama Vani, where everything is only thought. So the Madhyama Vani is functional in the dream state, where it is only thought existence. It is not a gross existence. Then the third stage is the Sushupti, the deep sleep, where the thought and the object, they are not yet differentiated. And the fourth one is the Turiya, which is beyond Jagra Sapna Sushupti, the absolute consciousness. So these four speeches or the four stages of mind determine the four qualities of experience. Vaikhari Vani for the waking world, Madhyama Vani for the dream experiences, Pashyanti Vani in the deep sleep, and Paravani in the absolute consciousness. So all our spiritual practices, we start from the Vaikhari, go to Madhyama, start from Madhyama, go to Pashyanti, start from Pashyanti, and transcend all the three and merge in the consciousness. This is methodically, systematically achieved through the japa sadhana. That is the purpose. If this is not achieved, we have wasted time, or we have troubled less the Mahatma. Normally, those people who do japa, you observe how they do japa. They are told to start chanting Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So they take that mala, put around it. I had the mala with me around my hand and with a gomukhi. It's called as gomukhi. I did it for years, not for a day or two. Many years. And they will put it, and in that, everything will be there in that thela. And they will go on chanting Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, because it gets entangled, I had done that, therefore I am telling you. And again they want to do like this thing. Or else in after they remove it and they keep it like that. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. My God, only three. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. दूध रखा है. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram. देखो किसका फोन आया. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. This is a cartoon of spirituality. This is what I was making fun. Not japa sadhana. See? So what is japa sadhana? Japa sadhana is we start chanting the Lord's name with the Vaikhari Vani. And when you do it with all sincerity and complete involvement. See? You must appreciate one great quality of the whites. ISKCON movement has become so much famous and popular throughout the world only because of the involvements of the whites. They have got this quality. When they get involved, they get very sincerely involved. Before that also, before Prabhupada ji came, there was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the originator. Then there were many Gaudiya Sampradaya, but they were only limited only in the Bangla. They have never gone anywhere. But the moment this was taken over by the whites, sincere involvement, as happily, joyfully, these people dance Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, no Indian dances. So when we are doing this japa sadhana, it has to be done with all sincerity. No halfway reservation. Therefore, we start the japa sadhana from the Vaikhari and very sincerely and with commitment and time. So we get up early in the morning, finish our bath. But last night I had taken bath again in the morning. Yes. This is too much, What is the need, Then you are not fit for japa sadhana. Then you go for jogging. Therefore, get up in the morning, finish your bath, rules and regulation, strictness about the food, your daily habits, what you read, what you don't read. The mind is not exposed to unwanted things in this world. And start your day after bath and all that, remembering the Lord. And take a vow. Now I had to complete this particular japa for so many million times. The rule is, suppose you do any japa, you have to do it number of lakhs of times, the number of letters are there in that japa. Like Gayatri japa if you do. It has got 24 letters. So you have to do one Purashcharan for 24 lakhs times. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, 13. So you have to do it for 13 lakhs times minimum. And that you have to do with the Vaikhari Vani. So rules and regulations. Strict rules and regulations. No compromise, no nothing. So we get up in the morning, finish our bath and all that. And then no belonging to the world. Sit on the seat or asana and start sitting before the Lord and chant loudly. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Do it with all sincerity. For 1 crore, 2 crores, whatever number is told to you or you have decided. When you will do this, your Vaikhari Vani will become purified. Now our Vaikhari Vani is constantly complaining, talking ill about the whole world, and that has become so impure, it has to be purified. And that purification of our speech takes place by chanting the Lord's name. This type of chanting is called as Japa Sadhana. See, now when you do it for a long period of time, you have to have full faith that the Lord is listening. And this mantra is the ultimate mantra. There is nothing more than this. But then, actually, I do this japa, but, Somvar, so then I do Omnusha. Then Mangalar comes, then Hanumanji comes, then I do that. And then Budhar, then Santoshi Mata comes, then I do that. Then Guruvar, Guru Maharaj ki jai, then I do Om Sri Guruve Namah. And then Shukravar, Balaji comes back, then I have to do Balaji mantra. And therefore, Swamiji, so many mantras, and I don't get time what I should do. You make a khichadi of all the mantras. That is not japa sadhana. Therefore, japa is always done with two important things. One, it is given to you by a guru. And second thing, it has to have a bija mantra in that. Mantra with the bija is meant for doing upasana. And simply chanting the Lord's name, you don't require bija mantra. Bija mantra means what? Om Hrim Klim, and then Sri Devi Namaha, or Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. So these are called the bija mantras. So the teacher says that you have to do this kind of mantra, your speech will be purified, and after the speech is purified, your loud chanting will automatically stop. You don't have to stop. Then that mantra has entered a subtler level of existence at the Madhyama Vani. When the mantra enters the Madhyama Vani, you keep on chanting, but others cannot hear that. Because now that mantra and the meaning of the mantra both are at the level of the thought. Then that you continue for years together. It's not overnight. And when you thus continue chanting this mantra in the Madhyama Vani, then your Madhyama Vani becomes purified and mature. Then your mantra will migrate slowly up to the Umbalikas in the Pashyanti Vani. When the mantra migrates in the Pashyanti Vani, we start living at the level of the Pashyanti. All the great masters, they live at the Pashyanti level. And because of that, whatever they say, it happens. Because the words and the meaning of the words is not separated in the Pashyanti Vani. So when a word is said, the meaning happens. This is how all the siddhis manifest. So we keep on chanting the Lord's name, and slowly we come to the Pashyanti level. Now I told you this thing in 10-15 minutes. If you are able to purify your Vaikhari Vani in 25 years, you have done a big job. But we want everything with a click of a mouse. Is there any software so that I can increase my health and reduce my weight? Yes. What is the software? Take the software and click the mouse 250 million times. What will happen? Your weight will be reduced. I remember a funny thing. When I was a child, I used to write japa. And is it me? So, when I used to chant that japa, write rather, so I used to always feel, I should do more. I have to do a lot. Then how to do that? So as a child, I used to imagine, I will do one thing. When I grow up, I will have a big typewriter, and I will keep 10 copies with the, what do you call the carbon, And then I start Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. As a result, I will be able to do that 13 crore times Lord Rama's japa fast. There is no shortcut. It takes its own time because the subtler the area of operation, more attention and commitment is required. To clean the outer house, you don't require that much time and energy. To clean your doubts, you require more time. See? Now, this is what should happen through the japa sadhana. And for that purpose, japa sadhana is done. So, anybody has got a mala? All are Rakshasas like me? You have? Give me.
Not here.
Yeah, now, give.
I haven't got that.
No, it's okay, she has got. Not this one. जपा की माला अलग. इस माला से मैं सबको पैसे मांगूंगा. No, just throw it. Throw it. Good. Sri Krishna. Now see, when we take the mala, exactly this was the type of mala I had. So when we are chanting, what is to be achieved while chanting the mala? That the chanting of the Lord's name and telling of the beads must synchronize. In one place I went, and that man told me, Swamiji, I do 25 malas every day. I said, what is your japa? Om, 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 om. No. I got a big japa, mantra. What is that mantra? Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I said, you must be taking at least 10, 15 hours. No, 5 minutes. I said, how do you do that? He said, I do like this. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. 25 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram. You don't know how many types of varieties in this world I have. It's not for playing. So, we chant Om Sri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Sri Ram Jai Jai Ram. We go on slowly doing it. And when we do it complete mala, suppose we have come up to here, then we don't cross this Meru, we go again 180 degree and again start pulling towards ourselves. Om Sri Ram Jai Jai Ram. Go on with it. And in this manner, when you keep on doing it with niyam, regularity is required. You cannot take the whole Chavanprash 1 kilo in one go and try to see how much is the weight and health. You will have no stomach left. It will be digested. You have to take little quantity. So every day you have to do it. This introduces a system of disciplined living. No, Swamiji, I was very late last night. I was fighting and I could not sleep, and now therefore in the morning I could not get up. Unfit for spiritual practice. Our spiritual practice is the prime importance. Everything else must wait. Therefore, if you are required, you go to bed quickly. Don't justify. Because of this I cannot get up. No. Because for you, keeping away at night is more important than chanting the Lord's name. You have to change your priorities in life. See? So when you thus do this, then you can experience. So, Now you all sit properly. I will chant, you repeat after me. Slowly and steadily we'll complete one full mala. Do it very sincerely. Don't do it half-heartedly. Don't look here and there. You are not appointed as a watchman by me or Arvind. Many people do that. When everybody is standing, the other day one person told me, Swamiji, where it happened in Cary, North Carolina. When you are doing meditation, Swamiji, I was not doing because I was just watching everybody. And I saw you were the only one who was sitting like a rock and others were moving like this thing, that thing. I said, very good, you have collected good data. But are you a data collector or you are here for doing your sadhana? So don't bother about others, close your eyes and with all sincerity start doing it. You are going anywhere?
Yeah, I just want to open the door so he's the back and come and put the food inside.
Okay. So we will start. You just repeat after me. Om Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
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 Om Sri
Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri 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 Just be quiet. By this chanting, the mind becomes purer. We develop patience. We remain self-disciplined. Life becomes well organized. And as the time passes, we start experiencing a great joy while chanting the Lord's name. And as you increase from one mala to 2 to 3 to 4, you dive deeper and deeper in your mind. And one day the chanting becomes silent. Then we enter the Madhyama Vani. And when we enter the Madhyama Vani, then this external chanting never happens. Then the mind keeps on chanting inside while walking, driving, sitting and relaxing. And when this also continues and matures, we become absolutely silent and start experiencing the thought-free experience of being. That time we are in the Pashyanti Vani. Thereafter the Lord takes care. Sri Krishna Narayana. So, open your eyes if you want. This is how the Japa Sadhana slowly takes us from the gross external world to the depth of our own being. And this has to be done with all sincerity, no hurry-burry. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Om Guru Sata Om Guru Sata Om Guru Sata Om Guru 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 Guru. Or else Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya. Do it with all sincerity, no hurry-burry. Now we all chanted only 108 times. But now watch the quality of your mind. It is undisturbed. And this undisturbed state is not a depression. And feel like it. No. You are all full. It is something like, you have some kind of sumptuous tea. Tea we have so many times, but once in a while the tea becomes so perfect that in your mouth you feel you have real tea. In the same manner, the Japa Sadhana helps us in quietening the mind. When our mind thus becomes quietened, mind becomes pure. And what are the signs of the pure mind? Pure mind kindles the inquiry about the truth. Now we have interest in everything in the world or the worldly problems. When the mind becomes purer and purer, these worldly things no more attract our mind. like a wakeful person, he is no more attracted by the loss or the gain in the dream. You know, it was just a dream, forget about it. In the same manner, when we are able to taste the joy of thought-free experience, not a dull, depressed experience. Depression is also a thought. Sleep is also a thought. But in the Pashyanti Vani, when we transcend, it is a thought-free experience. And in that experience, all the wisdom of the world is contained. This is how, by this japa sadhana, we can help ourselves not only control the mind, but also reach the depths of our own being. Now, once we have understood the meaning, now we have to do it. But Swamiji, I don't chant Sri Ram Jaya, chant Om Namah Shivaya. Doesn't matter. This was just one experiment we did. You chant Om Namah Shivaya. Whatever mantra you are chanting, don't change. Chant that only. But what is required is full involvement, no half-hearted. Otherwise, what happens that we are half-hearted. And when we remain half-hearted, we are never benefited. Therefore, keep on doing it every day. Spend an hour or two on yourself. Not jogging and body, that dumb way, not that way. Spend way on your own mind. See? You see here, the most of the whites are so committed to their body maintenance, they work day and night. They never have any excuse. I don't get time to run, therefore I am becoming fat. No, they run. They find out any time. Lunch break, chalo daudo. In the same manner, we have to have commitment. With that commitment, you live. See, the life becomes totally different. So work on the mind. That is the purpose of all this japa sadhana. And when you thus do this, slowly, you develop a unique faculty called as seeing something positive in every experience. You will never go negative in your life. And once you change that negativity, there is no problem. About this one example I'll give you. This happened in South India. One lady had some problem and then she stayed with her parents and all that. And a young mother of 2 children or so. And then she came across one man and they were going strong. Not for a day or two. He also promised, I'll marry you. So her children also agreed. That's good. You'll get some company throughout life. After 7-8 years, he walked away. He said, no, I don't know. And this lady went into depression. And when she went into depression, I came to know that she is not coming for the talks. I said, why, was something wrong? Not good health? Something? No, Swamiji, she has gone in depression. Once or twice she tried to also take some poison, but something happened and she's in terrible depression. So I was talking to her and she told me her whole story. I said, do you know one thing? He is not suffering, you are suffering. Yes, Swamiji, he is enjoying. I said, do you know why? Because you are a fool. Yes, you can call me fool. I said, I don't call, you are. Now how come? I said, now see. He has rejected you, this is what you think. And therefore you are suffering. Why don't you change the other way around? You have rejected him. He has not rejected you. Leave the world before the world leaves you. Don't get discarded in this life. You discard the world. You take the first step. This is what is called as Tyage Naiki Amritatva Manashu. But we all the time go on holding on to the world. No. So when I told her, she said, Swamiji, this never struck me. I said, because you are dumb. Get out of it. He has not discarded you. You have rejected him. And that moment onward, total change came in her. So what I have done? I have done nothing. Only you have to correct your thinking process. And that correction factor can be discovered and developed when you have got a cool, quiet, undisturbed mind naturally. Therefore, as I was telling the other day, undisturbed, quiet mind is the source of all solutions. A disturbed mind is a source of all the problems. Then the disturbed mind will always think negative. You must have seen, our mind thinks worse than our enemy can think about us. Suppose somebody was to come 8 o'clock and it is 8:30, 9 o'clock, that buddy has not come. What our mind starts thinking? I think one 18-wheeler truck has walked over him and he is made into a terrible chutney. Now I have to go and eat it with the bread. And then he comes comfortably. Very late, I went for a movie. But what the mind started thinking? Even enemy cannot think about us that way. Why this happens? Because mind is weakling. Make it strong. Like, the sunlight. When it is dissipated, not much energy. But when the same sunlight is brought together through a lens, it has got tremendous power to burn the paper below. Our mind is this day continuously dissipated. एक दिल के टुकड़े हजार. Such a broken-hearted fellow. Then such people are depressed. I don't know, I don't feel like living. Then stay. No, not that living. Leaving. Then die. I don't know, I don't have courage. Then suffer. Nobody will help you in this world. Please remember one principle. We are our enemy, we are our friends. Don't point finger at anybody in the whole world. Atmaiva atmano bandhu, atmaiva ripuratmanaha. We are our enemy when our mind is dissipated. We are our friend when our mind is fully available to us. It is so important. Now, last thought, and I conclude. How many of us have ever worked on the mind? We have worked on the body. Whitewashing and painting, makeup to cover the breakup. Isn't it? I should look good. People, once I went for Arangatram. Arangatram mainly the South Indian girls do. And mainly South Indian girls means the black variety. So when they are doing that Arangatram, they will go on painting to look, them fair and gora. So they will do all that. And when they do their hands like this, so this thing goes down. Gora, black passion. I was not seeing the dance, I was seeing the fun. So how much time we take to take care of the physical body? But have we ever thought of that let my mind have no hatred for anybody? Let me not think negative. Let me be creative. Let me see the divine grace that is in my life. We don't think about that. Because there are thoughts in the mind, that does not mean we are thinkers. Because there are trees growing, it doesn't mean it is a garden, it is a jungle. There's the difference between a garden and a jungle. A garden has got selected flower plants. A jungle has got any kind of plant. Our mind is jungle. Therefore we are all jungli. Yahoo! Chahe mujhe koi jungli kahe. See? Work on the mind. And when you start working on the mind, then you say, come to know that really, most of the cases, it was we ourselves responsible for all our miseries in life. One example I'll give you about this. There was one girl who studied all the Vedanta. Before that, she used to be in a place where I was, a very intelligent girl, well qualified, and she used to come and do my seva. I used to cook by my hand those days. So she will go to the shopping, get the vegetables and bring them and cut them and clean it, and then the atta she used to make the dough and keep everything. So when I had to take food, I used to take 10 minutes, finish quickly, eat and everything over. Then she will come and wash and clean. She has done my seva a lot. And after that, when she was studying, she was expecting that she should get a separate and a distinct treatment than other students. And that I have never done in my life. So, imagination started. I think Swamiji doesn't like me. Earlier he used to love me. Now he doesn't like me. He keeps me away. I think 2 times, 3 times I want to leave the course and go. I said, where will you go? Don't worry. I still love you and I'll continue to love you. And I hugged her and said, Swamiji, I was thinking that you don't love me. After that was over. Then again, you are not giving any attention to me. Better I leave. I said, go. I'll go to this Mahatma, I'll go to that Mahatma. 10 years that girl was struggling from one ashram to another ashram. 10 years. And after 10 years, again, Swamiji, I want to come and meet you. Will you please talk to me? I said, do you know? जब कोई तुम्हारा हृदय तोड़ दे, तड़पता हुआ तुम्हें छोड़ दे, तब तुम मेरे पास आना प्रिय. Swamiji, you don't mind? I said, no, you come. And then she came. And after that, Swamiji, please forgive me. I said, for what? I left you and gone. But I have gone everywhere. And now I come to know that what I get from you, even from a distance, I never got, although I was involved in so many things. I think it was, my mind was thinking negatively. I said, that's what we have been telling. You work on your mind. Pure mind never thinks wrong. Pure mind has no misunderstanding. Clean mind does not have confusion. Clear mind does not have doubts, problems, questions. So all our spiritual practice is working on this mind. But we imagine, because we have thoughts, we are thinkers. See? Therefore, friends, do this japa regularly, spend time on your mind, and remain calm and quiet. Otherwise, constantly like a poultry farm. And we get so fed up of our own talking inside that we want to take drugs and things, and then I don't know how it is. It's going on. Nothing is going on. Indigestion. Therefore, this japa sadhana is meant for working on the mind. Work on the mind and discover that you are the source of all bliss. If the mind is controlled, and you are the source of all blisters, then the mind is not controlled. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.